All right, everybody. We only got two hosts today, but we're still going to make it happen. We got episode 101 coming in at you, a new episode of Sports Type. First off, I want to congratulate. We don't have this on here, but I want to congratulate Reggie Bush. Finally, justice is served. He gets his Heisman Trophy back. Congratulations to Reggie Bush, who rightfully deserves his Heisman. Played insane at USC, right? Just an unforgettable season, unforgettable running back in the college football league, and no one really can compete with Reggie Bush when he played at USC. For his Heisman to be taken away due to some unfortunate events, but now he just got it back, thankfully, rightfully deserved. So congratulations to him. Moving on, though, we got Zach Wilson and pick 256 traded to the Broncos for pick 203. I mean, you're not going to get much worse than that if you're Zach Wilson. Lions agreed to a 4-year, $120 million extension with Amon-Ra St. Brown, $77 million guaranteed, and a 4-year, $112 extension with Penei Sewell, $85 million
Correct. Yeah.
guaranteed.
Sewell.
Thoughts? Cincinnati Bengals defensive end Trey Hendrickson has requested to be traded due to a contract negotiations. Wow, that's crazy. Now Ravens extend wide receiver Rashad Bateman. Beautiful, extension right there through 2026. Chiefs extend GM Brett Veach and head coach Andy Reid. Big Reds getting an extension. Congratulations to him going back to back like that. JJ Redick being interviewed for the Hornets job. Wow, what's gonna happen with him? He just got his new podcast with LeBron, Mind the Game. Now he's moving on to the head coaching job. He said he always wants to keep moving forward, keep moving on. And that when he was on that podcast, is this the next right move for JJ Redick and for the Hornets? Tyrese Maxey wins Most Improved Player, and then Naz Reid wins six Man of the Year. Eagles extend AJ Brown for 3 years, $96 million deal, going back to the NFL, and now going back to the NBA. Steph Curry wins Clutch Player of the Year over DeRozan and SGA, Shai Gilgeous Alexander. We're going to get our thoughts on all of this starting right now.
Yes, sir. So I would like to second what Gio said to begin the pod. Congrats to Reggie Bush on getting that well-deserved Heisman Trophy back in his hands, as it should be. So congratulations to him. Very glad that justice was finally served, as it should be. And he will be on the stage for that presentation with Johnny Manziel and others, as he should be as well. So congratulations to him. But to get to the first talking point of Zach Wilson and pick 256, I believe that's a seventh-round pick of the Jets, traded to the Broncos for a sixth-round pick and pick 203. As Gio said, you're not going to get much back for Zach Wilson. But overall, in my opinion, I believe that this was probably the best landing spot for Zach Wilson because the Broncos are in a rebuild mode. He's a rebuilding player. He has to find his identity, and I think this is the best place to do that for him.
I mean, he is a great backup quarterback, right? He can't really be the number one option. Obviously, we saw that with the Jets. And with a terrible team like the Broncos, you can't be a first option. I don't care who you are right now. They still just got to get a lot of adjustments. A lot of more moves have to happen in order for them to get better. But
I also expect them to draft a quarterback too.
Well, yeah, 100%. But he's a good
100%.
Option.
But I also, and I think that's a part of the reason they signed or traded for Zach Wilson is because they know they're going quarterback and they didn't have a veteran in the room to mentor that quarterback. Obviously, Zach Wilson isn't a veteran and he's not a great mentor either, but at least it's someone who can lead him in the right steps.
Right. And to go forward with your point, I mean, it's just in case someone goes down, he can step up to the plate. He's already played before. He's got experience. If it's not working out with the rook, right? Maybe also can give them competition in the quarterback room going into the going into OTAs and all that other stuff, the preseason. So hopefully that can lead to some great competition in the quarterback room and then lead to a successful season. Obviously, it's not going to be as successful as they probably hope, but it's going to be better than last year.
Do you really think they're going to get more wins than they did last year?
I think building a culture-wise, yes. It might not
I don't
result
know. I think they
in
get.
more. Might not
I
result
think.
in wins, but culture-wise, they're going to build a culture.
Yeah, I could see that. I think they'll be a top 3 pick next year, just because solely they have a very little talent on that team.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're going to have enough to get it done. But obviously, they're rebuilding. They expect to be a top 3 pick for that reason. But I think going into the season, Zach Wilson will probably start a few games. But once he shows that he's not capable of starting, as we all know, again,
Mm-hmm.
he'll get pulled for that said rookie, whoever they pick.
Yeah. I 100% agree with that. It's just, if you're the Broncos, one, why would you trade for him? And two, realistically, if you're the Jets, the 203rd pick, yeah, you might find a steal. You might. But realistically, I think having Zach Wilson as the number 2 guy behind Aaron Rodgers is better than nothing.
Yeah, I agree with that. I was surprised that the Jets traded for him, and I was surprised it was the Broncos. Obviously, as I said, a great landing spot for him, but I just didn't see that happening because I thought they'd draft the quarterback, which they probably still will, but it just was surprising. And then for the Jets, I mean, you really have no backup now, and Aaron Rodgers is coming off a torn Achilles. It's not a guarantee that he's going to be able to play a whole season. So I don't know. I don't know if I like this move for the Jets.
Exactly.
But we'll see what happens. Moving on to Detroit, where the NFL draft is happening right now. The first top 4 picks did go as expected for those who haven't been tuning in. It went Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Drake May, and Marvin Harrison Jr. so far, with the Chargers on the clock right now. But to get to Detroit, the Lions did agree to a 4-year, $120 million deal extension with Amon-Ra St. Brown, with $77 million guaranteed, and then a 4-year, $112 million deal extension with Penei Sewell, who's one of the best offensive linemen in the league, and he gets $85 million guaranteed. So what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, both these extensions, well-deserved. Keep this core group together as long as you can because they were so close last year. I think they can get it done this year, especially with the experience, with health, being a factor as well. I think they can make it happen. Like I said, they were just so close last year. It came down to, are we going to go for it on a couple 4th downs? If they were safer, who knows? Maybe they could have won it. But at the same time, you keep this team together, I guarantee you they're going to get it done sooner than later.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I think this was the perfect move for the Lions and a much-needed move, along with extending Jared Goff, which they already had done as well. Keeping this core together is very important. They're a young core, and as Gio said, they made the NFC Championship. And in the words of Michael Jordan, the ceiling is the roof for this team.
That's right.
But I believe that it's much needed and very good signing for both of these guys, and well deserved because they are top in each of their positions.
For sure.
Sticking with wide receivers, though, Eagles did extend wide receiver AJ Brown for 3 years, $96 million. He gets $84 million guaranteed and $32 million per year, which is the highest average for wide receiver in the league right now. So what's your thoughts on that signing?
I mean, it was good. Obviously, he's the top 5 receiver in the league, 100%. To get that $96 million, yeah, it's just, where are they coming up with this money? They're paying Saquon, they're paying Jalen, they're paying AJ. Didn't they just extend Smith too? Devontae?
They did, yep.
They did. So, I mean, they're coming up with this money. You're going to have to spend more money on the defense. Let's be honest. Their defense was atrocious last year. Needed to get better. I think it might have gotten a little bit better, but in order to make a splash in the NFL like that, you need to spend money on the defense, and I don't think they're doing enough. They're spending way too much on the offensive side, and I think they need to be more conscientious about the defensive side.
Yeah, I do agree with that. They did let, obviously, their best defensive player, Hassan Reddick, go. They lost a lot of defensive players in the offseason after losing in the first round.
Right.
Obviously, their defense was horrendous last year, but losing players and not replacing them isn't going to make it any better. But obviously, you also want to keep this offense together because it is a historic offense. So they're trying to do both. But I agree, they do have to be more conscientious of figuring out who they want to get defensively. Because if you have no defense, it doesn't matter how many scores you put up, how many points you put up, you're not going to win a game. And we've seen that multiple times with multiple teams.
100%. And everyone knows defense wins championships. So if you really want to win a championship, look at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Most of their money is in the defense right now. Look at the Dallas Cowboys and their defense. Look at, obviously Miami lost some key players defensively, but they added players. Look at, obviously, the Jets. Their top 5 defense. They're a bunch of rooks, but, they're very young kids. But they're also, probably going to get the bag sooner than later. Look at, obviously, the Chiefs didn't have any money, to pay Snead, but their defense is stacked. Look at, Chris Jones just got the bag and well-deserved bag too. So, I mean, yeah, you got to pay the defense.
100%. But overall, I mean, A.J. Brown is a much-needed piece for this team. So it was a great extension, but it's just you got to save some money for defense. But 100%. Overall, great extension for A.J. Brown and well-deserved for A.J. Brown as well.
Yep.
I'm not sure what the Chargers just did, but they didn't take a receiver at number 5.
Yeah, I mean,
like I get it because they do need an offensive tackle. They took Joe Alt, but you're protecting Herbert to throw to nobody, essentially, if you ask me.
Pretty much. But I know that it's a deep wide receiver class. I don't care who you are. Marvin Harrison is Marvin Harrison. If you're not getting Marvin Harrison, might as well get an offensive line player just because, I mean, you do need to protect Jay Herbo in the pocket. If you can do that, I feel like wide receivers you can get in the 3rd, 4th, 5th rounds, especially with how deep this draft class is. I think it was a smart move. Unfortunate for the Giants, though, because I believe that without getting an offensive line player, right, to build that offensive line, 2, Giants on the clock, are they going to draft a quarterback?
We'll see. The pick is in right now, but before we see what they do, moving on to a Pittsburgh rival over there, Cincinnati, the Bengals defensive end, arguably their best defensive player, requested a trade due to contract negotiations. He wants more long-term security. The Bengals aren't willing to give him it, so he requested a trade. And obviously, we've went over they might lose T. Higgins as well due to contract negotiations. So, what's your thoughts on this? And do you have any best landing spots for him if he does get traded?
Jets, Steelers, 2 best landing spots in my opinion. I thought we were going to get rid of a 2nd and a 3rd for him. I do believe if we come down to it, it's going to be the 10th round or 10th pick, 10th overall pick with the Jets, right? They got the 10th overall pick that they're going to try to trade for T. Higgins. Might as well do it if you're the Bengals, right? 10th overall pick. And he could be a great secondary option behind Garrett Wilson.
Yeah. Do you have any best landing spots for Trey Hendrickson?
Oh, my bad. Sorry, I thought you said T. Higgins.
No, it was both. But
okay.
I'm asking about Trey Hendrickson now. Yeah.
Wow. So sorry. Giants just selected Malik Neighbors. Great pick.
Yep.
Should have went to the Chargers.
I mean, he should have. Yeah.
We'll see, right? Because you really just have Darius Slayton on the Giants. You just have, pretty much that's your only offensive weapon right now. Let's see what this kid can do with Daniel Dimes, and hopefully they can move forward and be better than they were last year. But anyways, yeah, Hendrickson, I'm not sure. You guys obviously could use him, I feel like, in a sense. What were you going to get rid of for him? I don't know. Another one could be Chicago. Why not? Start building that defense up again. You just selected Caleb Williams. You're building for the future. I feel like this would be a great move for them to create that defensive culture back again. Especially not really having it since, Khalil Mack was there, right? So, I mean, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think speaking of defense, like we just did with the Eagles, I think the best landing spot could be Philly because they don't have many
Right.
pass rushers anymore with the ones that
Yep.
they gave away. So I could see that happening for Trey Hendrickson. And then I do agree. I think the Jets would be a great landing spot for T. Higgins, playing with Aaron Rodgers and just adding a weapon for him on that offense.
100%.
But I don't know what Cincy's doing because they've had a pretty bad offseason. Like obviously the Cowboys have had the worst offseason, but I think they're second worst with what they have done and what their players have been asking for.
I 100% agree. You lose great key pieces in your offense. Obviously, defensively, you're losing another key piece. You're really relying on Jamar Chase at this point and Joe Burrow to win you guys a Super Bowl. I think that's unfair to put them in that position.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not really sure what they're doing, but we'll see how it pans out. Because maybe they have a plan that we don't know about. But another low end receiver got extended. Rashad Bateman for the Baltimore Ravens got extended. What is your thoughts on that? There was no news about the length of extension or the money, but he got extended through the 2026 season. So what's your thoughts on that?
I believe that, it was obviously a good extension, but realistically, can he stay healthy? Right? For me, it's like they have a great offense. Is he going to be the guy? Is he going to be the second guy behind Zay Flowers?
I mean, obviously, I think that guy will always be Mark Andrews if he's healthy.
You're right, but I'm saying wide receiver spot.
Well, they did let go of Odell, right? Like he's still a free agent, correct?
Right. Yep.
Okay, then yeah, I mean, they really had no choice but to extend him because you can't just rely on Zay Flowers. Like you saw it with CeeDee Lamb in Dallas. Can't just rely on one receiver. No matter how good that receiver is, eventually the defenses are going to catch on, double them, and make the others beat them. So I think that was their thinking into extending Rashad Bateman.
Yeah, I 100% agree. But I mean, did you have to though?
I don't think they had to, no, because as I said, I'm not going to say bottom tier. He's like mid to low tier receiver. They could have got someone better if they let him go and used that money towards someone else.
I agree. And I mean, yeah, it shows their loyalty to him and it shows his loyalty to them as well. But you're trying to win a Super Bowl. You got Derrick Henry, you got Zay Flowers, you got Lamar Jackson, you got Mark Andrews, like you said, you got that defense without a secondary who's now in the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's just, I mean, you're trying to win a Super Bowl. I don't think Bateman's that guy. Obviously, we just saw Hardman win a Super Bowl winning touchdown, right? Who would have thought Hardman would have done that? But at the same time, are we going to see Bateman do that with Lamar Jackson? I'm not sure.
I mean, he has made great plays for the Ravens in his career there. It's just overall, I think they could have got someone better.
Yeah, I could agree.
But speaking of Super Bowls, the two-time defending champions extended GM Brett Veach and head coach Andy Reid. Andy Reid got a well-deserved contract extension. He is now the highest paid head coach in the NFL. So what's your thoughts on those moves for the Chiefs?
Yeah, 100% well-deserved for both of those guys. Back-to-back Super Bowl champions looking for the three-peat. It's just amazing what those guys have done without Tyreek Hill, right, in the last couple of years. Yeah, people want to say Patrick Mahomes. People want to say Travis Kelce. But you look at Andy Reid. He's calling the plays. He's calling the shots. He's creating these spectacular plays. Obviously, Patrick makes magic happen on the field. But Andy Reid's the one calling these plays on the sideline, allowing for the magic to happen. And then obviously you look at what Brett Veach has done, and man, it's spectacular what he's done in the off seasons these last couple of years, trying to get that Super Bowl team back together, extending Chris Jones, which was probably one of the most stressful times of his life because he is a top tier defender in the league. And with that looming around for an entire season practically, right? And then still winning a Super Bowl, that's the way you guys have to get it done. And that's exactly what the Chiefs did. So congratulations to them and well deserved for both those guys.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Well deserved for both of them. I mean, Brett Veach is probably the best GM in the league right now based off what he has done. Everyone expected Patrick Mahomes to be a bust. The only one who saw the potential in Patrick Mahomes was Brett Veach, and now he's running it. And he's running the league by storm with Patrick Mahomes at the helm. And obviously, Andy Reid is the one who draws up the plays that we see on game day. It's not obviously Mahomes makes the plays, but it's not Mahomes who draws up the plays. That is Andy Reid, as Gio said, one of the best coaches in the league, maybe the best coach in the league. So very well deserved for both of those guys, and congrats to both of them. But moving on to NBA. A guy who I think would be a great coach, JJ Redick, is being interviewed for the Charlotte Hornets job. What's your thoughts on that?
I mean, this is a great move. Unfortunate for, Rondo. Unfortunate for coaches who, to me, deserve this more than JJ. One, because they've been in the league longer. I feel like a Phil Handy, right? For instance, deserves to be a head coach more than JJ Redick, right? Okay, so those guys deserve that option.
Yeah, he does. He deserves to be interviewed.
Yes, your guys' coach. Let's be honest, your guys' coach.
Oh, go ahead.
But
exactly.
Those guys deserve it more than JJ because they've been in the league. They've paid their dues, right? JJ's going into this fresh, just like a Jason Kidd, just like a Steve Nash, just like a Derek Fisher, right? You have to be patient. You have to pay your dues. You have to work into the system. You're not going to see a player coach like a Ty Lue ever again, in my opinion. I mean, Ty Lue is one of the best coaches in the league. He's a player coach, but then again, he did pay his dues being the assistant coach in Cleveland and other places. So JJ's got to pay his dues, in my opinion. I like that he's going to be a coach, but I think he's got to work his way up to being a head coach, not just given to him.
Yeah, I can agree with that, but I think his basketball IQ, based off what I've seen, is similar to Rajon Rondo, and I really think both those guys would be great head coaches, solely because of their basketball IQ. They know the game they're in and outs of the game by heart, and I think they could run the league by storm if they do get the right chance. Is the Hornets the right chance for JJ? I don't think so, because the Hornets are obviously bottom of the barrel team. I don't think they'll be good in any, maybe 5-6 years they'll be good, but not any sooner than that. So I don't know if this is the right move for JJ, but for the Hornets, I think it would be a great move.
Yeah, I don't think it's a good move for JJ or the Hornets. One, because look at Jason Kidd. How many stints did it take for him to actually not get good at coaching, but to understand coaching, to be part of it, to really develop as one of the premier coaches of the league?
But here's the thing. If you look at the coaches available, there's not many great coaches. Like Mike Budenholzer, probably the best one out there. And then Phil Handy, as you said, Rajon Rondo. Phil Handy should be the Lakers coach after the season, if you ask me, because I can't deal with him anymore. But we'll go up with getting off a little topic. But I think there's just not many options, and I think that's why the Hornets are thinking outside of the box per se.
Yeah, definitely outside of the box. I like it. We all know what JJ's mind is. It's spectacular with the basketball IQ. But at the same time, I'm not sure if this is what he actually wants to do right now. He's killing it in the media, realm of the NBA.
I mean, he has the pod with LeBron. He has
his own
broadcasting,
pod.
and he coaches his kids' teams, and his kids are young. So I don't know if he'll want to miss that.
Right, 100%, and that was the main focal point in my opinion. But we'll see what he does. Could be both for both parties. But as of right now, they're not in the playoffs. So I mean,
I'm
let's just
hoping.
try to finish the season off first and then go on from there.
Yeah, right. If he's not a Hornets coach, come on over to LA. Ham will get fired eventually.
Yeah, right. Tampering. LeBron's tampering. Making a podcast, he's tampering.
Yeah, or Rajon Rondo. Anyone but Ham, because Ham's an idiot. But
All right,
anyway,
Mr. Ham hater.
hey, I know you don't watch Lakers like me. I can't stand watching that man coach, if you could call that coaching.
I see him, his arms folded. I see his arms folded over there on the sideline.
No, his hands are in his pocket and he's like watching the game. 17-0 run.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, keep going.
Nothing.
Keep going.
He's got a free ticket on the pretty much on the floor. So.
Oh, 100%. He's pretty much a fan just watching the game courtside.
100%. But let's go into some more important things.
Yeah.
Are we going into the league awards already this season?
Yeah, only 3 have been announced. Obviously, most improved player, 6th man of the year, and clutch player of the year. Tyrese Maxey won most improved player. Naz Reid won 6th man of the year, and then Stephen Curry won the clutch player of the year over DeMar DeRozan and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Yep. So, you think anyone was snubbed out of those awards?
100%. Okay.
I do too. So let's see if we're on the same page. Who do you think got snubbed?
Donte DiVincenzo 100% got snubbed, most improved player of the year.
I think Coby White got snubbed on that one.
Coby White got snubbed, but you look at what Donte has done, setting the 3-point record for the Knicks, doing all these great things for the Knicks, and coming short because of 9 seconds. 9 seconds.
Yeah, but the thing is, for Coby White, I think he averaged what? 5. He didn't barely play last year, obviously, had like maybe 5 points per game. He upped his points per game to 20 points per game. And Maxey's great, don't get me wrong. But the man averaged 20 last year. Yeah, he improved this year, but not drastically like Coby White or Donte DiVincenzo.
Right. And that's the whole point with me is those two guys definitely deserve it more than Tyrese. Tyrese was a starter last year for the most part, right?
Right.
Because James obviously wasn't playing.
Right.
It's just to me, you look at what Coby has done. He changed the trajectory of his career. We all thought, oh, Tyrese Maxey's going to be that dog someday. No one thought Coby White was going to do what he did this year. Oh, Donte DiVincenzo, that was an okay signing for the Knicks. Oh, look what he's doing for the Knicks. Just broke the Knicks, 3-point record. Are you kidding me for a single season? So you look at those two guys, and yes, they do deserve it more than Tyrese Maxey.
100%. I'm surprised that they gave it to Tyrese because, as I said, I think he averaged 20 last year, and now he averages like 26.
Right.
But he's a starter.
Yeah.
And yes, so is DiVincenzo and Coby White, but not to the level that Tyrese is. Tyrese is the number 2 option. Coby White and Donte DiVincenzo are like the 3rd and 4th option any given night.
And the reason why Donte DiVincenzo didn't get that award was because in 9 seconds, because he was not a starter, because he was not part of the lineup at the beginning part of the season. He was getting less than 18 minutes a game. It's not his fault that the whole lineup was healthy at the start of the season, and that he stepped up and he's good. And you're putting, you're making that the factor that he doesn't get the award. Come on.
Right. I think
9
that's
seconds,
kind of.
He played 81 games this season. 81.
Yeah, that's stupid. But I personally think that it should have been Coby White by not a landslide, but by a large margin.
All right, we can disagree to agree that Tyrese Maxey should not have won.
Did not agree. Yeah, should not have won that.
Yeah.
But the 6th man of the year, people do think that Malik Monk got snubbed.
Yes.
So what's your thoughts on that?
Yes, I believe that. When you have the most points on the bench, when you have the most assists on the bench, right? When you're doing the things that Malik Monk is doing, and you are doing 2 out of the 4 main components on the bench, scoring and assists. You have the most out of those 2 categories on the bench in the entire league, and you give it to Naz Reid. Are you kidding me right now? And you're not giving it to Bobby Portis? Are you kidding me right now? When you have those 2 guys doing what they were doing on the bench and you give it to Naz Reid? Are you kidding me?
I mean, I think you're undermining Naz Reid. I think he's a great sixth man for the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Yes.
But I believe Malik Monk was the best sixth man in the league by far.
Yeah, but then when you also look at Bobby Portis, he was averaging 20 points.
Yeah, that too. But like, I watched Kings games where their offense was so stagnant, and then all of a sudden they put Malik Monk in, and he rattles off 15 quick, points, and the game changes just like that.
Yeah,
and I think Malik Monk just brings that much to the Kings that he should have won that award.
100%.
But I solely think he did not win because obviously he missed the final half of the season.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think that's stupid because before that injury, the Kings were in the playoffs.
That's
what
right.
What happened when he went out? They missed the playoffs. So I think that shows you how important Malik Monk is to the Kings.
100%.
But do you think that the league got the clutch player of the year correct?
I'm going to make this quick. This award means nothing. In my opinion, it means absolutely nothing. When you have the clutch player of the year not make the playoffs, when he didn't score practically in that last game. Clutchness is a gene that, yes, Steph Curry can be clutch at times. When you think of clutch, you think of Kyrie Irving, you think of Damian Lillard, you think of, yes, I'm going to say it because he's not here, De'Aaron Fox, okay? I mean, those three guys alone, Luka Doncic, LeBron James. Obviously, he missed that 3 the last game, but he made 12 points in the fourth quarter to keep him in that game. That is nothing, because to me, it goes to the person championship that puts the game on the line, wins the game on the line. Honestly, like, yes, it's a regular season award, but come on, man, like, this award means nothing.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Your computer like started going stagnant after I heard LeBron James 12 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I'm gonna just repeat what I said. Nothing to the league, nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I agree because as you said, sure, Steph is clutch, but if he was so clutch, they'd be in the playoffs.
Right.
And if he was clutch, they would have went into Sacramento. They would have went into Sacramento, won that play-in game, and then went into New Orleans, won that one, and been in the playoffs.
100%. And that's why, who cares about this award? Season thing. Can you hear me? 1 2 check 1 2.
I can check now, but I couldn't earlier. I can now, but I couldn't earlier. So what were you? I heard. Yeah, go ahead.
Clutchness is a post-season.
I heard the 100%, and that's it. Clutchness is what?
Clutchness is a postseason
award. I agree.
So to give it as a regular season award, it means nothing.
I agree with that. I mean, the most clutch person in the league is probably, let's be honest, the defending champion, Nikola Jokic.
100%. The stuff he was doing, and not even that. You could even go to Jamal Murray, that buzzer beater on the Lakers. I know you don't like it, but the buzzer beater on the Lakers in Game 2.
I don't like to talk about it, but it was a heck of a shot and a heck of a shot. Let's be honest. Great players make great shots. That's what Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray do on a nightly basis. It's not here and there. It's a nightly basis. They make shots like that.
Kawhi Leonard does that.
And that's why
does that.
I personally Kawhi Leonard does what?
He does that. He does it. He is Mr. Clutch.
He does. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I was going to say, I believe this is why, based off what we were saying, I believe Shai Gilgeous-Alexander should have been the most clutch player of the year because I have seen him all season long step up in clutch moments.
Agreed.
And
Agreed.
DeMar DeRozan was more deserving than Steph Curry as well, because I saw DeRozan make a few game winners this year, not to the level of SGA, but better than Steph Curry.
Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving had takeover games, close games. Clutch. 20. And bringing your team back like that.
What were you saying, bro? You keep cutting out.
Defensively and offensively,
LeBron, did you say LeBron James?
LeBron James, second half against the Clippers.
Oh, okay, yeah, I agree. Even though the Lakers lost that game too, he had 12 points in the fourth quarter. Yes, he missed the most important shot, but we got to look at the shots that he made to get the game in that position for the Lakers. You can look at the missed shot and say that he lost them the game, but if you watch the game, he didn't lose them the game. He's the reason that the game was as close as it was up until the buzzer.
100%.
And I think, I don't know, man, this award is just, I'm not sure why they added it, and I don't really like it, to be honest. But yeah, I don't think the league has gotten any awards correct yet, and we'll see if that continues with the awards that continue to come out in the days to come. I think they're going to continue to announce them every day before the first playoff game until all the awards are announced.
Well, I saw it was leaked. I saw Victor Wembanyama.
Victor Wembanyama what?
Defense and rookie.
You saw that, or that you saw that that's going to happen, or?
I saw it leaked. I mean, obviously it's fake.
Oh,
but that leak has been right so far. That leak's been right so far. I just think he got 6. If he got 6, I think anything can happen.
I mean, I think Wemby will 100% be rookie of the year by far. That's a landslide in my opinion.
Yep.
But defensive player of the year is a little bit tougher given who he's going up against, but we'll see what happens.
Right.
Before we wrap up this pod, I did want to say that the Falcons made a surprise pick. They took Michael Penix Jr. to obviously back up Kirk Cousins for now, but I think it was more of an insurance plan for if Kirk doesn't come back the way they expect him to come back.
And that was a great one. I mean, Penix is a quarterback. The unfortunate thing about this is his age. If he was younger, Kirk Cousins comes back healthy for 3 years. 30 by that time, almost.
He'll be almost 30, yeah.
Right. So it's gonna be crazy to see that, happen when he starts playing at almost 30. But I mean, to them, that was a great pick.
100%. And the Vikings did just trade with the Jets to get the 10th pick. Rumors are it's going to be Gio's guy and JJ McCarthy.
JJ.
So I believe that that's a great landing spot for JJ because obviously Sam Darnold's not a starter and he can step in and show what he's made of right from the start.
for sure.
But you got a podcast to wrap it up, or a podcast? You got a segment to wrap it up?
I got a big long podcast right now. Yeah. No, I got a segment. Wanted to shout out. We just had 420, obviously, this past weekend. Sneakers come out every single year on this date. Obviously, Reverse Skunks, the other Skunks. This year you had Reebok and where is it? Reebok and Pleasures, a distillery, dispensary, but Reebok and Pleasures made a great, collaboration. Beautiful looking shoe, obviously great. Go check those out. Still close to.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to check those out. I did see the Reeboks on my sneakers app. They do look, I will admit, they look very cool. Not my style, but I do like them. And then in the video game world, Fallout 4 did release today. So if you're into a game like that, I personally am not, but if you are into a game like that, go ahead and check it out. And thank y'all for watching. See y'all in the next one.
Hey guys, go ahead, go down below. Two wise men once said today, subscribe. We'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.
Peace.